Welcome back, Abracadabra. It's Susan and Alakazam. It's Robert and Bip Bop Boop. It is all of us on the Daily Dose. And yes, it's magic. Whee! Why? Because I say so. There was a magician comedian. I think he was very much parodying comedy, but he had a bit he used to do. I think his stage name was Bob Zaney, and which is a great stage name.
Yeah.
And he would do it as if he was a British comedian. Go, hey, look at this! It's a dead rabbit with a spike through its head. F
Oh,
you! It's magic! It's magic!
warped.
Anyway, yeah. Our magic is much gentler than that.
Gentler, yes.
When we
Yeah.
talk about it from an improvisational sense, the line is, and this is where please, yes, and this, or yes, eventually this. Um, um, Improv is not magic, but it can feel magical.
How
What,
nice.
what does that make you think or feel?
Coming from a place of not knowing anything about improv, I'm sure I'd experienced it a little bit in life, but not. It went from zero to wherever I am now.
Right.
um, I'm sorry. Ask me your question again.
Well, it's a good place to pause actually, because what you said actually gave me, I have to, my constant block here is assuming things. I have to really keep reminding myself. It's like you didn't come in with a little bit of experience, or kind of, you basically knew nothing about improv. And so for that to come to you at age
60s,
67 or so.
something like that.
Yeah,
Uh, oh, wait a minute. Yeah, something like that. Late
right
60s.
about that age of your life, for something that out in left field to suddenly appear and to not only be an opportunity, but to become centrally focused in a lot of ways about your approach and the effective quality of life. That's a big deal. I mean, that in itself sounds magical.
Well, I know this about myself. I'm really honest and I'm very simple. I'm not very complicated, and I didn't have any agenda. And and when I heard you put Parkinson's that I carry together with this concept, I couldn't make it work. I couldn't weave those things together. And if I was going to get there, you weren't going to help me. You weren't going to feed it to me.
Well,
You're
it's because I couldn't, right? I mean, I
well.
wasn't I wasn't being tricky. I know you constantly thought I was. I really wasn't being tricky. I really couldn't tell you.
I I didn't understand that you couldn't tell me. I really didn't. Not for a couple of years.
Yeah.
I guess I felt like it was. Um, you felt that you were offering me an opportunity, and I was drawn to the result of it, but I didn't understand that fantastic space in the middle of
That's
learning.
perfect way to describe it, that chasm, because you're right. I mean, I'm sure I represented it because I felt, and I still feel, I felt very confident in my ability to figure it out, right? Not what the result would be, but that something was going to be fruitful at the end of this journey, right? I mean,
Absolutely, and that came through in
right.
your
So
in your tone and just not.
what it was, well, and I, you weren't, I mean, you were aware as much as I told you, but I mean, the super X factor in all of this was, with me, was that it was going to be online. I mean, if this was in person, I mean, I was like, you could 99.9 this. The online thing, put it down to about 70 to 80. It's like, well,
For you,
I
but
think
I didn't know
so,
any
but
different.
what's that?
Uh, that's what your experience was. My experience with improv started online,
Yes.
so I didn't have
Right.
any fear or anxiety from
Oh
that
yeah.
weirdness of the
Well,
Zoom
thank
screen.
goodness I didn't give you any more than you already had, because, yeah, inside I was going, I don't know what's happening. I mean, those 7 scary words really were very honest. I
Yeah.
don't know what's about to happen. I'd try a game, and I was ready for absolute blank stares. And Robert, what are we doing here? What is going on? And I'd have to keep just enough going to get you to come back, because that's the basis of a lot of clinical trials. When we started, they're feasibility studies. The feasibility just means, does it work at all? We don't have to know what it means. We just have to know, do people on a base level find it enjoyable? They're reporting pleasant things from it, and then maybe we listen, and we hear from them, and decide
Do they
what,
come back?
yeah, why they're coming back, what they're getting from it. So, yeah.
I think for me, a lot of it was you were you presented as confident and excited, and
Those are true.
yeah, and
Yeah.
that translated to more. More would maybe more would get me there.
Well, let's talk about more. I actually want to jump into the idea of stakes, which it feeds part of what you're talking about, and it feeds
Okay.
the storytelling side too. We'll see that in the next Daily Dose.